Welcome to Hotline 21. I'm your host, Bruce Jackson. And today here at the Give House, we have a great show for you today. We have the executive director, founder of the House of Abundance. And that individual is Reverend Ernest Jones. It's a pleasure to have you here, Ernest.
Pleasure, Mr. Bruce Jackson.
And, you're doing a lot of great things there at the House of Abundance. What inspired you to create the House of Abundance? Tell the audience.
Sure. What inspired me to create the House of Abundance was through my father growing up as a child. He was a pastor and a minister, and he also was to my mother. He also was a father to us. He was my stepfather. But also, what the thing I learned growing up, that he was a cab driver. And my mother had 14 of us. And I watched growing up of him taking care of the 14 of us and how he kept us together and how he stood in the time of a lot of times. And his main message was to urge us was to, I can, there's no such thing as you can't, and never say you can't do this. And I was always taught growing up with my father how to serve and help people.
Wow.
And from that experience of growing up, he showed that to my mother and to us as growing up as children. And what inspired me from that was he had the I can do, and he always taught us if you don't get a degree, go for a skill. Mm-hmm. And so my part went to a skill. And that skill was in carpentry. And I was able to get into the Chicago Apprentice Program. And from that completion of the Chicago Apprentice Program, I became a union carpenter. And as I became a union carpenter, I did residential and rough framing. And that kind of inspired me to build and show that with that trade that you can do whatever you dream or put your mind to do.
Now tell us what you've done, because I'm hearing as you're talking.
Sure.
I am hearing how you've taken the building blocks that your father gave you in terms of the I can do, and you begin to build things. And why are you building these homes? And tell us, what are you using them for?
Well, per se, with these homes, what I do is when we purchase these houses, we take them and we fix them up. And once we fix them up, and what my program consists of is to veterans, seniors, low income, handicap, and for battered women, domestics, where people are in trouble, they need help, and they may not have the first, say, the down payment or for rental units. And I use this for rental units so it can help them become stable. Mm-hmm. And once they become stable, from whatever situation they want to grow as far as rental, because housing is, we have a lot of homelessness, we have a whole lot of things where people are hurt and trouble. Mm-hmm. And they don't know the next step to go as far as where do I go to for homes or housing.
Right.
And we provide that service to what to do, the next step to do from rental.
And you are a nonprofit?
Yes, we are a nonprofit organization.
501c3?
Yes.
Okay, great. And do you charge? You don't charge anybody anything for
No,
this?
we don't charge no fee.
Beautiful, beautiful. If you're just joining us, we're talking to the House of Abundance with Reverend Ernest Jones, and he's got a great program that he's doing right here in the city of Chicago and outside of Chicago as well, aren't you?
Yes, we just purchased some houses out in Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
And we're in the process of doing demolition and fixing them up and getting them ready for rental.
Okay. Now let me just say this. If you're just joining us, you still want to get tested, HIV, STD, you can reach us at 1309 South Kedzie, just like it appears on the screen. Or you can give us a call if you get any questions, 773-522-2420. Or hit us up on the web at www.thegivehouse.org, and of course our email is thegivehouse@sbcglobal.net. So, and I'll put this back up as we continue through the show, and back to House of Abundance. Now, let me ask you this. Give me a situation where you had a client, I would say your nightmare situation when you had a client that had a rough time, and it's kind of a success story that you were able to use your service to help.
Okay, well, there was a situation where there was a young lady who had a problem where she was battered through abuse through her spouse, and they was able to come to us, and they asked for our help. And what we did, we provided a service for them, a place to stay, so they could get back on their feet where they was in trouble. And what we did was we provided a service for a certain amount of time on the program, and once they completed the program, then they was able to get back out on their own, back into their home and house.
And they were back on their feet. Now, if you are listening to this and you want, if you're kind of having a rough time at it, you don't have a place to stay, you need a place to stay, you need some a comfortable environment until you get on your feet, call to them at the bottom of the screen if you get questions. That's why we have this show, to give you people who can provide services, and there are no, and you said again, are there any fees for this service?
No, there are no fees for this
There's
service.
no fees for this service, and this is really almost a miracle that we've got Reverend Jones here providing the service through the House of Abundance. And how long have you guys been in existence now?
We've been in existence for 5 years.
Okay, and they've been around for 5 years now. So if you need the assistance, if you need these services, if you need housing, if you need a warm bed, this is the place to call. This is the person to talk to. He's right here. Reverend Ernest Jones, great guy. I've known him for years, and just really, really positive, very positive, and just really want to help the community and help people, and that's one of the things that I'm so excited about, and I really admire about you.
Thank you.
So now let me ask you this: what would be your targeted plan of how many houses you want to acquire over the next 5 years?
Over the next 5 years, we would like to acquire at least about 20 properties.
20 properties.
Realistically.
Really? Okay. And that give you time to fix them up and then get people in them so they can live, Okay, great. Now, do you work with distressed properties, like the properties with the X's on the building?
Yes, we do work with distressed properties.
Okay. Now, what about properties where I know the county was doing a tax sale, about properties with back taxes? Do you work with those kind of properties?
Yes, we work with tax sales.
Okay. So in pretty much any kind of property, can people donate property? If they got a property they're not even using, they want to help the community, can they donate a property to you?
Yes, they can donate property to us.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
Sure. For the donation, when they donate a property to us, the property must be in that condition. It must be in good condition. And then if we find that the property is in good condition with the appraiser, and once we find out that part, then if the title's free and clear, meaning no mortgage is owed on the property,
Okay.
then then they can donate that property.
Okay, so you heard it. If you got properties you wanna donate because you wanna, I think it's important that people help their neighbor. I mean, we in many ways are our brother's keeper.
Yes.
And it's important that you help your neighbor. I mean, you can only live in one house. So if you got 5 and 6 houses and it's empty and you're not doing nothing with it, and you don't plan to do anything with it, here's a golden opportunity where you can take those properties and you can put them to use in the community, help the homeless, help battered women,
Battered women, veterans, senior citizens.
senior citizens. All these people go through hard times, and a lot of times they don't have any other venue that they can go to. And here at House of Abundance, they're taking, abandoned properties and fixing them up so that people who would live in under lower whacker can have a nice home.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I mean, I'm almost ready to tear up, because that's something, you don't see every day.
Yes, sir.
You just don't see it. Now, with regard to food, will you be taking donations for food, or how food works?
Not at this time, as far as the food process part, the pantry, but basically we deal with housing, fixing
Okay.
and repairing and remodeling.
Okay. Well,
At this
maybe you can probably implement food
Maybe.
later on down the road.
Sure,
Team up with one of the pantry nonprofits, and they can also have food. I mean, I want to put too much on your plate. You got a lot on your plate already.
Yes.
But maybe you can consider that just because you're doing such a great job at what you do. Now, let me just put this back out just in case people didn't get it. Okay, we are the Gift House, and we're located at 1309 South Casby Avenue, and we're in Chicago, Illinois. Our number is area code 773-522-2420. Email, if you care to email, is the gifthouse@sbcglobal.net. And you can also hit us up on the web, www.thegifthouse.org. And the testing are free. The condoms are free. And we want to keep you healthy and safe from any of the STDs. So I've got that there. Give you a little time to write it down so you can get in there and get the testing done. Okay, we're back. We're talking to Reverend Ernest Jones of House of Abundance. And he has a great program where he actually help people who are homeless. Yes, he help people who are homeless and provide them with a warm bed and a warm place to stay. And some of the harsh, cold Chicago winters. And they're beautiful places, and I've seen your work. You've done really, really good work.
Thank you.
Christ was a carpenter.
Yes.
I don't know. I may be talking to Christ here. Like Christ was a carpenter. This is something Christ would do here.
Not Christ, but
a
follower.
You're a follower. Okay. Well. That's just a way of saying that you're doing a great job in terms of helping the community, Okay, well, they're telling me I've got only 5 minutes left. Anything you want to just take advantage of those 5 minutes and tell us what you anything special about your program of House of Abundance?
I think House of Abundance have a good program. And also has a program where we can help young teenagers coming up and would like to learn a skill. We have a training also process where we all can pitch in and help one another, where I can help teach young people giving back to the community, which is my trade as a carpenter, and help train young men and women who would like to learn the trade of carpentry. As we purchase and buy these houses and fix them up, we would like to help the community where they can help and would like to become an ownership of their home to help provide service where they can come and be trained and show them how to fix up their property.
Okay, great. Now, how long would it take if a person wanted to learn carpentry? Give me if I wanted to learn how to build a doghouse or something. How long would it take for something?
It took me 5 years for my apprenticeship. So it's a long process. But also, it's a good process, and where you can learn how to do small repair jobs. Maybe not build a house, but you can learn how to do small repair work,
Okay.
such as changing a doorknob, such as hanging a door, such as maybe putting in a window. Those are small repair work, and or such as patching up a hole in the drywall. So those are small things you can learn, or same as demoing and showing prep work of prepping and demoing the house. It's very important, and safety is very important. Those training skills are very important. Learning how to repair and fix and remodel houses.
Now let me ask you this: with regard to the tools, you know, 'cause some people are afraid of those tools. You know, the saws and the different miter saws and stuff like that. Now, do you give training on the how to work the tools?
Yes, but as when they first started, they wouldn't be provided with the power tools or the tools that we know that is more dangerous. They'd be more like have manual tools such as hammer,
Okay.
screwdrivers, pliers, stuff like that kind of stuff. Where they have these demolition tools. So they start off working with small manual tools, and then as the time and goes further, they'll learn the safety first of all tools, safety of power tools, safety of proper clothing to wear and boots and gear to wear for safety.
Gotcha.
Safety is the first thing of class.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, right here, 1 second, let me just go over because me want to just see this again. For those who didn't get that information, I think they want me to put that back up there. And so, the Gift House, 1309 South Kedzie, if you want to get tested, that's 1309 South Kedzie. If you have a question about the testing, that's 773-522-2420. And you can email us at thegifthouse@sbcglobal.net. And you can also find us on the web. So I'm going to just leave that up there for a while. So those of you who want to get tested, and those tests are free, and the condoms and all of our supplies that we give you are free. So I'm going to leave that up there for a while so you can go ahead and write that down. All right? And they've given me a wrap-up time. I'll tell you right now, it was a great pleasure talking to you, Ernest.
Same to you, Mr.
Your
Jackson.
program is wonderful, and I wish you much success. And we're going to have you back and in the next few years to tell you how we're working on providing more housing for the homeless.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.